Now done. Okay, welcome everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. And having said that, I will pass it to Councillor Campbell. No, Tucky, excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Seeing no delegations, declaration of financial no statement of disclosure of interest. Seeing none, moving on. I have a recommendation to accept the agenda as presented.
I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
I'll second.
Was there something you wanted to add?
Hearing no comments, can we vote to accept the agenda as presented? All in favor? Passed unanimously. Minutes from the Corporate Services Standing Committee minutes of June 4th, 2024 were reviewed and adopted at a regular meeting of council on June 18th, 2024. Councillor Ferguson.
Thank you. I just wondering if we have from the minutes anything regarding the NTPC intervenership. Was that? I know Councillor Crevette's not here, but if we've heard from our folks that are doing anything with that for us, or has it been all submitted and we're just waiting for feedback?
Sorry, I don't have any updates on that one.
Any further questions from the minutes? Councillor Ferguson.
And perhaps because Councillor Crevette's not here as well, but it was the post-second education committee. I know that he was wanting to reestablish that and have a meeting if that has taken place.
I'm on that committee. I never got anything to state that there was a meeting.
Okay.
Governance. We've all had a chance to go over the vision, values, strategic plan was reviewed. Governance committee reports. I guess we've gone through that. Anything for human resources?
There's like a big update.
I think that's the committee, the HR committee hasn't met.
Oh, yeah, okay.
These are for the committees.
Okay. Communications committee? Nothing. Bylaw review committee? SAO?
I would just like to make note, though, that we are trying to meet with the Bylaw and Policy Review Committee. And I know Emily, when she was acting, tried really hard, and it's just not, she had a lot of difficulty pulling it together. And just a reminder that we do have some HR policies that we'd like to have reviewed so we can move forward and finalize those. So I forget who else. So Diana, Councillor Crevette, and we can try to get a meeting fairly soon. I would appreciate that.
Thank you for that. And we've already discussed post-secondary education and NTPC. Directors reports. Count page list. Councillor Campbell.
These committees, we seem to be falling apart and not having monthly meetings or anything anymore. There's no communication within this whole department or anything. We got to get back like where we were 2 years ago, where we're having monthly stuff. It just seemed like we're just all going in different directions. We're not going in one direction. We all picked a direction heading south. We're not doing any meetings, any committees. We're just flying by the seat of our pants and all this stuff. So we got to get back and do something constructive here. But we only got a couple more months anyways. Thanks. That's my...
Councillor Ferguson.
Thank you. Well, I know that the NTPC Intervention Committee was very active, and we've been very much pursuing that, and it's been an active, ongoing committee. And the bylaw, we just met last month, and just before Diane left, and we were reviewing bylaws there, and most of this other stuff is as it comes up, then we have to meet to discuss those kinds of things. Human resources isn't like an ongoing. It's if as it's needed, as it's relevant to us to participate in those committee meetings, right?
SAO?
Just a quick update from behind me that our NTPC committee, an argument was submitted and they have responded. I don't have anything more than that, but it is moving forward. And I'm sure Councillor Couvette will have a good solid update on that at the next meeting.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Moving on to the director's report, accounts paid list. Councillor Campbell?
Check number 41794 for rent, 26 York, 2940. I thought we were going to get something that explaining the full cost of that and everything, and to put it out to tender for some more people in the community of Fort Smith to bid on.
SAO?
As of yet, with our priority being public health and safety and emergency preparedness, we have not had a chance to focus on being concerned about unhousing our ambulance at this time. It is on the list of things to do once we're out of the emergency preparedness season.
Councillor Campbell?
I thought as a council, we asked you to do something like that, and then you decide against us not to do it? We asked this a while ago to be completed, and a lot of things we asked for, and I still don't see anything on this. This has been a while ago that we asked for something on this. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Campbell? Councillor Campbell?
Check number 41879, Flash Wildfire Services for 25,080.74. Did we put that out to tender for anybody in Fort Smith to bid on so they could supply it? And here we are going to a southern firm at a big price. Thanks.
SAO?
All of the fire smarting contracts were put out for tender and were responded upon and awarded.
I have my hand up.
Deputy Mayor Carl?
It's a minor detail, but I've just noticed that Kaiser Stores in all of these has been spelled incorrectly. If we could get that remedied, please.
I have a question about 41781, grocery supply for fire truck, reference for daycare/ambulance.
I'm going to speculate that this was around the parade, but I will confirm that maybe one person went out and bought all the supplies around the parade, got groceries, and also got the candy and everything for the fire truck. But I will 100% confirm on that one.
Any further discussion on the accounts paid list? Seeing none? Counselor Ferguson.
Thanks. I just don't see anything here for our Starlink. Do we still have a subscription, a monthly subscription to Starlink, and is it active?
SAO?
Yeah, we actually do. We are down to one unit, which is mounted on the command truck. We've gone back and forth. We actually had a missing unit for a while. So we do. It just obviously hasn't made it into this month's bill, but we do still have that one active.
No further discussion on the accounts paid list? SAO?
Just to go back to that one, if you look at check number 41815, Interstar Rentals and Services, monthly Starlink rental.
Moving on to correspondence. Counselor Ferguson.
Thank you. So in our correspondence, we had not yet replied to the St. John Anglican Church in regards to their request for clarification on the costs for industrial tax increases and lots and such. And I'm just wondering, they want to come in and meet, and have they said that they're going to come in and meet with us or delegate to us? And if so, maybe we need a briefing note on, from our perspective, on what that looks like and why we've across the board given all what our rates, like why we did what we did with the rate increases. Because we might not, it's not as familiar in my mind as the conversation has been back when we did that. And yeah, and if they've come in to ask for a delegation.
SAO?
I kind of lost track of what the question was there, Dana. I'm sorry.
Have they come and asked to delegate? And if they do come to delegate, if we can just have a follow-up briefing note for our information for us, so that we can have a town perspective of why we changed our rates and fees to what they are now, specifically for institutional.
Actually, I'll interject here. In the letter written by the church, we respectfully request a meeting with the town council at the end of August to discuss this matter. So I guess they are planning on coming at the end of August. SAO?
As this went out to council, I was waiting for direction from council if to invite them to come and set the date and what council wanted on this, because this email went straight out to council, I believe. So what I'm understanding is that you would like to accept their requests and for me to prepare an information briefing note in preparation for that meeting. Correct?
Counselor Ferguson.
So do we then invite this organization to come to delegate, or do we just leave it as it is and say, and leave our rates and fees and what they are and give a letter of why we do what we do to all. Like is you know, because if you in so I just if I feel for this organization that the fees and rates have gone up across for everyone, not just this organization. All organizations suffer the impact of inflation and increased costs, pricing, shipping, gas, fuel, you name it. We're all being impacted by it. So I don't know if we want to extend a delegation invitation, right? Or we just say, have a polite letter of this is why we've implemented the fees is what they are, and unfortunately this is what we're going with. This is what I think.
Counselor Campbell.
This is a very, this is going to be a very touchy subject, fellow counselor. And maybe this is one of them that we should get involved with our leaderships. Maybe have a quick taxes, yeah, but not, yeah, it's our taxes, but I'm just saying, it's a very, I don't understand, send a letter to the, asking for a meeting, or just send a letter saying,
The very last.
Counselor Ferguson.
Thank you. So they're looking for clarification regarding to why the rates and fees went up as they did. They don't actually need a delegation. They need a letter from us explaining why the fees have been implemented and changed as they are. And they're not just for them, it's across everybody. Everyone's being impacted the same. They're not being targeted at all. And I think that would answer that question there. Right? And I think explaining why we increase the rates and fees, why it's all across the institutional, across the board. No one's being specifically targeted. It's all folks. Yeah, it's not this particular organization. It's all institutional organizations, right? And institutional encompasses this classification of, right?
Counselor Campbell.
so we're just going to give him a letter explaining our thing right now, how we operate. And then if he has any question later, he'd come back and do it. Okay, yeah, I follow you.
Counselor Ferguson.
So I move that our SAO follow up with our correspondence log for St. John's Anglican Church from the mayor and council to address their questions regarding why rates and fees are as they are in an explanation letter.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carried. Counselor Ferguson.
I was just confirming that we don't have, it's just correspondence and not a briefing note on it. And yeah, so the letter from our MACA for Arctic Winter Games hosting opportunity for 2028. So I was part of the hosting organization committee for the 2016 Arctic Winter Games co-hosted between Hay River and Fort Smith. I felt that collaboration was amazing, huge success. Although I'm very biased because I was part of that organization and I felt like Fort Smith did amazing. We hosted over 1,200 athletes, plus their mission staff, affiliates, coaches, people, delegates, all coming to the community here. We have legacy pieces that branched off from that. We have now a huge operating snowboard park directly impacted from that 2016 Arctic Winter Games. Sorry, 18 games. And then we had this year, all female snowboarders that attended Arctic Winter Games were from Fort Smith, and they all medaled. So that is a huge accomplishment for the community of Fort Smith and legacy piece of Arctic Winter Games. So when I saw this, I was like, for sure, I would be 100% in favor of something like this, only because I'm super biased and opinionated, thinking it's amazing. So I just thought making sure that we have a conversation about this. We have lots of time to plan for something like, well, 4 years to plan for something. We did it in less. We're okay. We always already have the template. We know what's worked and didn't work. And I think that the collaboration with Hay River was amazing. And the organizing, like the president and everyone that was there for that, was a great organization. So I just see it as a huge success, and we should definitely talk about it.
Councillor Campbell.
I agree with you that we should talk about it, but it's a considerable workload. It takes a lot of people involved. I was behind the scenes in Hay River before I moved to Smith here, and I helped out here when I got here. But that's a big commitment, and financial too, to get that. Yeah.
Councillor Ferguson.
I think step one is you got to ask Hay River and the other satellite communities if they are interested in something like this. That would be step one, right? Just because I think it's amazing, and yes, doesn't mean everybody thinks it's amazing, and yes. So, and then step two, if that is a yes, then reaching the folks that are interested to then drafting those letters and giving the direction to move forward with it, if that is the direction of council.
Mayor Daniels.
Yes. This is a good thing. It could probably do Fort Smith good in that, but I'm really not sure of it at this point. The reason for is if we have to pay money into this, we don't have much money right now. All our money is going to infrastructure, and that's just what I'm concentrating on. I'm sorry. It would be good, but yeah, do we even have the manpower to pull it off? That's going to really stretch us thin. What about our other programs? It's something that we really have to take a serious look at. And like I said, yeah, how much do we have to put in? Because right now we can't afford to put too much in. We have infrastructure, and that's my first priority. So I'm sorry.
SAO.
We did have a very quick meeting with just the committee, a couple of the people on it, rather, just sort of talking about what that would look like, what stages they're at. They're having a territorial-wide meeting tomorrow, just an information session. My understanding is that they've already had that discussion with Hay River, and I think it was somewhat of a lukewarm reception right now. Just feeling that there's a lot going on. and whether or not they've recovered from last year. But there is a meeting tomorrow at 10. I'm not sure if we'll be able to attend because we have a conflict at that time, Emily and I. But we did have that chat with them. And they were just saying this is sort of what they're looking. They're just starting to feel it out. They haven't decided whether they're going to put the bid forward yet, but they're just sort of gauging interest in the territory. And even if they're looking at this region or if there's other regions that might want a chance at it. So that initial conversation is out there and they are starting to reach out. So I think they're going to circle back and come back to us and let us know, what the interest is and what the next steps are.
I think that just follow up with if that lukewarm response is a lukewarm response, we can't do it solo. So follow up and let us know what the other community, or I would almost say like our neighboring collaborative community would be interested in, if they're in or not, because that would decide whether if we're in or not.
That'll be Enterprise, the Reserve,
Yeah. Res,
Res,
us. Yeah.
the two reserves here.
Yeah. It is huge though. There, it's very big. Yes, there's burnout and a lot of manpower, a lot of man hours.
Okay, any further discussion on correspondence? Seeing none, moving on to license report. No discussion on license report. Moving on to administration.
I move that council accepts the update on the status of the human resource project as information.
I'll second.
Councillor Ferguson.
Thanks, Chair. I just want to say that I'm reading through that report. I had lots of information in it. I thought it was a really great update for what we were looking for with that whole the project in regards to what's getting done, where we're at with all of what we'd got for the human resources. And I think it was a really good, I don't know, it gave me a lot of information that I didn't have before, right? So
I just want to say that I appreciate that council had put this in play just as I was coming in or before I got here, because this was a huge support asset. And to have this project going forward, to have Elizabeth's support, to be able to have the directors on side as we develop better policies and better processes. And overall, it was just, it really eased my coming in to this role, to have that level of support in this project already undergoing. So I thank you for approving that one and making that one happen.
Councillor Ferguson.
I was just reading through, there's lots of bylaws we have to approve. After I saw this, I have them all highlighted. So I guess it'll have to just be added to our bylaw review committee. And I'm keen to see what is in your drive, your common drive. I'm like, are we allowed to snoop? Probably not. But I'm like, oh, that's probably like a wealth of information.
Any further questions? All in favor?
I move that council accepts the capital projects monthly report for July 2024 as presented.
Do I have a seconder? Questions? Counselor Ferguson.
Not really a question, just more of a comment on the Connie Bear development. The pavement looks really great, and I'll have to admit the mayor was right saying that he had to pave in the ditches because I was wrong and he was right.
What I have on this one is that we have had a meeting with the design engineer on June 12th. There does remain some outstanding questions and details that are being confirmed. Location, generator size based on historical peak use without taking into account our upgrades and the heat source. So we're just working through looking at those different elements and looking at our new records of our use and our peak use as opposed to prior to the CRC renovation. Oops.
Thank you, SAO. Counselor Campbell.
We had this design engineering firm on for a good 6-7 months, and we're only asking these questions now. We got to be pushing them to get this thing going, because location, we already had a location, but we're going to put it on the far side, but the skateboard park might be there. But it's not a very big generator building. I still think it go out the door there. But it just seems like this thing is dragging on, like on and on. This has been going on for 2 or 3 years now. We got to light a fire under our engineers thing and let's get it going. That's all I'm asking. Can we request them to proceed a little quicker and get some answers back?
I think the SAO is nodding in favor of that. Any further discussion? All in favor? Oh, Counselor Campbell.
Our ice plant for the CRC, is it in process? Are we going to have the pad poured and everything in time if they're late delivering? Because Simcoe should have their structure or the machine size and everything. They should be in town getting their electrical out there and everything. That's another one that we should be pushing for instead of late. We approved everything and then waiting till fall to get the concrete poured and everything. We should have that out for tender and everything. Thanks.
SAO.
We did request an updated schedule. It is being constructed off-site. Schedule was last requested on June 24th. We haven't got it yet. I'll make sure we have a better report. As soon as we get an update on that one, I'll bring it back to council.
Thank you, SAO. Any further questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
I move that council approves the CPI funding contribution agreements with MACA for the fiscal year 2024-2025 in the amount of $1,656,000.
I'll second that.
Discussion. Counselor Ferguson.
Not a discussion, just a statement. I don't know. I think it feels like we're being underfunded. I don't think $1,656,000 is enough for our infrastructure, especially aging infrastructure. As we go, we have all of our water, sewer, such example. I think I don't know, if we have if our MLA is here or if our premier is here next week and our leadership is meeting with them, they should definitely be pushing for them to give us the money it takes just to maintain our aging infrastructure, our public community infrastructure.
Mayor Daniels.
Yes, I'll be looking at that when we meet with the minister. As I said before, council is more than welcome to attend. It's on the 23rd at 9:30 till 1, and it's at Salt River's office. And also looking to other funding, which would be the federal funding on these projects.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All in favor? Passed unanimously.
I move that council approve the water and sewer subsidy funding contribution agreement with MACA for fiscal year 2024, 2025 in the amount of 671,000. Did I miss one? Oh, okay. Yeah. I move that council approve the operation and maintenance funding contribution agreement with MACA for fiscal year 2024, 2025 in the amount of $2,408,000.
From our place to nothing? Eh? Okay, never mind.
All in favor?
I move that council approves the water and sewer subsidy funding contribution agreements with MACA for the fiscal year 2024, 2025 in the amount of $6,071. $6,071. Oh, 600. Sorry, yeah. $671,000.
I'll second that.
Like I said, it's late.
Okay, open for discussion. Councillor Ferguson.
Thank you. Not just a statement about all of these funding and contribution agreements from the government of the Northwest Territories. All municipalities are all underfunded. We are definitely underfunded for what it takes to actually cost. And then it comes out of taxpayers, our services that we're not allowed to or can't afford to develop. So if, again, anytime that you're in the room and our leadership is there, they need to be advocating for proper money and giving us the right amount of funds to actually provide the services that are like basic minimal needs for our community.
Thank you, Councillor Ferguson. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
I move that council approves the Salt River First Nation Municipal Services Agreement extension.
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion. Councillor Campbell.
I thought we were going to go through not just, first of all, what's the extension date good till? Okay.
Yes, you may, SAO.
Apologies. The Salt River First Nations legal representative reached out to me, apologized that nothing had moved forward as originally planned when they'd asked for the original extension. Now things are sorting themselves out a little bit over there, and they want to keep moving forward to this. They are working with us very agreeably on outstanding payment in lieu of taxes. We're going back and forth on that one, and they are very amenable towards working towards a new one. They just need some more time to get things together. I don't believe they've been able to have an actual council meeting yet, so they can't actually make any motions or approve, but they are interested in moving forward. So they've asked for an additional, if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure it was an additional year extension, so that they can, in good faith, continue to move forward in a new one.
Councillor Campbell.
Okay. Is this going to open up, they could use all their new water, whole new subdivision? Is this what this extension is calling for? Or is it just, that's the one question, right? And I got a couple, that's just one.
Well, actually, if there's no demand for water, is there? For what?
Well, okay, my question is here, sorry. Mike, here we go. If we're gonna open up, we were gonna go get the lawyers, make sure we all above board and everything, and that we are looking after our best interest. If we go and open this new subdivision up for 1 year, how are we gonna shut the water off? Because everybody's gonna ask for water and sewer. Now we got the opportunity for get the liner half paid for or something. Well, then it was their operators that wrecked it. And there's just a bunch of little things. I don't think we got to work with them, but is this 1 year agreement for the new subdivision or just what was previously in there? That's what I'd like to ask.
Councillor Pissinger.
Okay, is this to, as Councillor Campbell had mentioned, to turn on the water where it's needed? Or is it to continue to work to an agreement so we come to that point? Is this an extension to work on coming to an agreement? Okay.
SAO?
That's exactly what it is. It's to extend the existing agreement for another year, the terms contained within the existing agreement for another year, while we actually get into negotiations and discussions around what a new municipal service agreement will look like. So it's just that extension of existing, so there's still an agreement in place. The existing one, yes. I'm not sure if that's the same conversation, and I'd have to delve into that one. I'm not, but as far as we're not ready for them to turn on the water, we don't have all the systems in play yet.
We definitely want agreement with them. I think what we're cautious of is if we say, sure, let's extend our agreement. Here we go. We're good to go. Does that then turn on the water? Because we are not ready to take on that load to our services that we have. So yes, we want to extend the MOU with them, but no, we are not in a position to turn on the new subdivision for water and sewer services yet. Right? Is that what we're saying? Okay. Okay.
SAO?
Then I would appreciate that direction in my response, that council is 100% in support of moving forward with extending this one while we negotiate a new one, but understanding that signing this and agreeing for this extension does not in any way approve the, so I think I need that actual in a direction, please. And I.
Deputy Mayor Coral?
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe we can just table the vote on this until we have the clarification as to what all the current one is involving, and to ensure that our interests are protected for the future development area.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Ferguson.
Thank you. I don't think we require to table this right now. I think that we have enough. I'd like to make the motion that we direct our administration to approve an extension for the MOU with the note that we will, the development of the and the services will not be turned on for the development of the new subdivision until we can properly accept the load to our services, right? So yes, we want to extend the MOU, but no, we cannot turn on the services to the new development of the subdivision yet. Until then after this year, our new MOU should solve all of these concerns, correct?
I'll second that.
Favorite?
Yeah.
So, vote? All in favor?
She's always in favor. So the excusing of, I'm gonna, I move that Mike Cravette, or Councillor Cravette and Councillor Bolio be excused from the Corporate Services Standing Committee meeting July 9th, 2024.
All in favor?
We need a seconder.
No, seconder? All in favor? Carried. Date of next Corporate Services Standing Committee meeting will be on August 6th, 2024. Can I have a motion? No, kind of adjournment, right? Not yet.
Am I?
Yep.
So I move that council move in camera in accordance with Cities, Towns and Villages Act, Section 23(3) DEI, the salary, benefits, or performance record of an employee, a matter still under consideration and which a council has not yet publicly announced a decision. If discussion in public would likely prejudice the municipal corporation ability to carry out its activities or negotiations, the conduct of an investigation under or enforcement of an enactment or bylaw.
Do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. All in favor? Carried.